Hi, welcome to 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Chris, and today we'll be talking about comics getting released July 11th, 2018. So to start things off, we're going to go into Aftershock Comics with Relay number 1. I love Aftershock's comics. I'm just gonna
Aftershock is awesome.
A perfect future of intergalactic travel and community. Every newly discovered planet is unified culturally through a monolithic structure known as the Galactic Relay. Although the towering monument is meant to inspire conformity of ideas, technology, and progress, many resent the foreign structure. Jad Carter, a Relay employee, must keep the peace and act as an emissary to new civilizations. But when he finds the Relay's mythological creator, Hank Donaldson, his idea of reality and the universe shatters. Equal parts The Fifth Element and Philip K. Dick, and directly springboarding off the previously released Free Comic Book Day Relay number 0, this series is an exploration of monoculture, identity, and the deceptive nature of legends set in a thriving future where humanity forcibly assimilates new worlds. Written by Zach Thompson from Cable, The Dregs, and in Her Infernal Descent, and with art by Andy Clark from Replica and Batman, and a story conceived by Zach Thompson, Eric Bromberg, who did Pestilence, and Donny Cates from Baby Teeth, Doctor Strange, Thanos, Venom, and God Country, this powerhouse of a series that had to be told at Aftershock. So that's pretty good.
I remember picking this up on the number 0 at Free Comic Book Day. I was scrolling through all the free comics and I just see Donny Cates' name. I'm take.
Yeah, the fact that the story was basically helped conceived by Zach Thompson, Eric Bromberg, and Donny Cates, like, I love Infernal Descent.
The Triforce
I love
powerhouse.
Pestilence, and I love Donny Cates. So that's a big deal. You guys should definitely be picking that one up. Moving on from there into Lion Forge, we have Voltron, Legendary Defender, Volume 3, Number 1. So Voltron's actually coming back around popularity next to that new Netflix series. It's not really new anymore, but it is compared to the last time Voltron had a series.
Yeah, which was the 80s.
I think there was a little one in the 90s, right?
I think it overlapped into the 90s.
Okay. Anyway, so the Galra have long held a number of slave planets in their grasp, and the Paladins have devised a plan to set them free. To do this, Allura must find a way to infiltrate Sprawl, a group of closely guarded planets that are mined for many of the Galra's construction materials. Cutting off these resources is the first step toward bringing down the Galra, but the key to successfully finding a way in is to break the bond of the mysterious force that holds these planets together. So it sounds interesting enough. I never really watched Voltron, oddly enough.
I was more of a Power Rangers guy with the Zord, like being able to form like a
Megazords and stuff.
Yeah, like I was more of so in the genre of mechs that are formed by various other mechs, I was more of a Power Rangers guy.
Nice. Moving on, still in the mecha, but this one by IDW Publishing, Transformers Unicron 1 of 6. So this is going to be a fun story. If you know anything about Transformers and Unicron, you know this is going to be a great arc. The end is nigh, the darkest hour has come. Optimus Prime stages a desperate gamble as the World Eater Unicron approaches Windblade's homeworld. But that's just the appetizer. The main course is Cybertron, with a side of Earth, and it's starting to look like no force in the galaxy can stop the end from coming. So I love Transformers, especially once it gets to the Unicron stuff.
It's like all of the bad stuff that has ever happened in the Transformers universe happening at once.
Basically. In the original series, like, Optimus Prime was dead at the time, and, like, Megatron was in power, and then Megatron died, and Unicron came out, and then Optimus Prime came back, and you're like, what is even going on anymore? So moving on from there, we're going to jump into Image Comics with Farmhand number 1. It is a new series premiere, so that's a big deal, coming out of Image Comics, of course. Jedediah, I'm just saying Jedediah, I don't know if there's an I between that. Jedediah Jenkins is a farmer, but his cash crop isn't corn or soy. Jed grows fast-healing, plug-and-play human organs. Lose a finger? Need a new liver? He's got you covered. Unfortunately, strange produce isn't the only thing Jed's got buried. Deep in the soil of the Jenkins family farm, something dark has taken root and it's beginning to bloom. From Rob Guillory, Eisner Award-winning co-creator and artist of Image's comic Chew, comes a dark comedy about science gone sinister and agriculture gone apocalyptic. Nature is a mother. So this is interesting.
That's
I
really
like the
creepy,
premise of that. And also new #1 out of Image Comics, Outpost Zero #1 series premiere. So this one looks pretty good. Welcome to Outpost Zero, the smallest town in the universe. The people there work the land, go to the fights every Friday night, and tuck their children into bed. But the outpost is no place for dreams or aspirations. To survive is ambitious enough. As Aaliyah and her friends graduate to adulthood on a frozen world never meant to support human life, something stirs, something sees. Explore the mysteries and wonder of the Frost in this oversized debut issue by Eisner Award-winning writer Sean Kelly McKeever, artist Alexander Tefenki, and colorist Jean-Francois Belliot. I can't say his last name. I'm surprised I did so well with Jean-Francois. Right. So this looks to be a big book, 48 pages, and it's in Image #1, and it's got an interesting premise that we haven't really seen too much recently. So I'm expecting it to do very well.
Alright, we're going to move into Marvel with a very hot one, a no-brainer contender, in fact, and that is Amazing Spider-Man #1. That's right, a #1 for Amazing Spider-Man. Written by Nick Spencer and art by Ryan Ottley, who is going to be in town for the Orlando Comic-Con.
Yeah, the Orlando Toy and Comic-Con.
Yeah, Toy and Comic-Con.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, you kidding me? An alien invasion hits New York City, and the only one who can stop it is Spider-Man? But that's far from all you'll find here. A revelation from the past puts Peter Parker's job, relationships, and whole life in jeopardy. And if that's not enough, you'll see a new roommate, which I guess is a first appearance of someone, new love interests, more first appearances, and a new villain, more first appearances. Spider-Man goes back to basics courtesy of Nick Spencer from Secret Empire, Superior Foes of Spider-Man, and the Marvel debut of Ryan Ottley, who of course is famous for Invincible. So this is really exciting. It sounds like there's going to be some new people being introduced into the Spider-Man universe, and also it's art by Ryan Ottley. So I mean,
and if you're a member at the shop, you have a previews catalog, the Marvel's previews catalog from when this was orderable. If you go back, you can actually get a preview of the first couple pages of the comic, and it's good. I like it. I have interest in where it goes.
Many interests. I mean, it sounds like they're gonna make some moves.
I'm hoping they recover Spider-Man as well as Captain America #1 did.
Mm-hmm. And that's it for Marvel for now. So, moving into DC, we have Superman #1, written by Brian Michael Bendis, coming out of Man of Steel, and art by Joe Prado, and cover art by Ivan Reis. A bold new chapter for the greatest superhero of all time, debatable, begins here as the superstar team of writer Brian Michael Bendis and artist Ivan Reis begin their run on the all-new Superman. The fallout, I've been playing a lot of Fallout, I'm sorry. The fallout from the Man of Steel miniseries has Clark Kent looking at the world through new eyes, with new ideas about what Spider-Man could... What Superman could and should do for the city of Metropolis and the planet Earth. His first job, getting the planet back from the Phantom Zone. So, I mean...
It's fun. Most of the good arcs in Superman come out of the Phantom Zone, I believe.
And it's Brian Michael Bendis, the man. Moving on, we have She Could Fly #1 of the Dark Horse. This is a hilariously interesting one, written by just Cantwell, and cover art by Martin Morazzo. In Chicago, an unknown woman appears flying at speeds of 120 miles per hour at the heights of reaching 2,000 feet, and she suddenly dies in a fiery explosion midair. No one knows who she was, how she flew, or why. Luna, a disturbed 15-year-old girl, becomes obsessed with learning everything about her while rumors and conspiracy theories roll. While cracking the secrets of the flying woman's inner life lead to the liberation from her own troubled mind. Written by Christopher Cantwell, co-creator, showrunner AMC's *Halt and Catch Fire*, and Martin Morazzo has worked on Nighthawk, Elektra, and the recently released creator-owned Ice Cream Man. The latest from Karen Berger Books imprint, and 32 pages of story. So it's a big one, and it's $4.99. So it's a lot of story for just $5 compared to the big two, where you could just easily get
it's
a
$20 for or 20 pages for $4 or $5.
Yeah, exactly. So you're getting a good deal, and it sounds like a really interesting concept as well. Could blow up. Then the next one from a very small publisher, Source Point Press. We have Morte, One Shot. Morte is the story of the last man on Earth, now alone among a landscape of corpses, and how he chooses to spend his time in this new world. A powerful and gripping post-apocalyptic drama that will take a hot knife to your heartstrings. Speaking of Fallout, I'm very interested in this. I do like post-apocalyptic things, and I mean, the title is death.
Yeah, my favorite post-apocalyptic series is Star Trek. Technically,
the Augment Wars were pretty bad.
I mean, if you watch the the Cochrane stuff,
the Elon Musk stuff,
when
Elon Musk invented the warp drive. Oh my God! Okay,
I was like, no,
we're moving on. It came out on with alternate comics with It Came Out on a Wednesday, #1. This is a very interesting. It's not just one story; it's a collection of stories focusing on horror, sci-fi, and fantasy. This bi-monthly ongoing double-sized anthology features the best and brightest upcoming creators. Each issue features stunning cover art, interviews, ongoing stories, a comic contest, and previews of upcoming alternate titles. And the best part, it comes out on a Wednesday, of course. So this is kind of like a combination of the way that old school comics used to be, how it used to be a comic book with a collection of a bunch of short stories, but it also has a combination of an old school like 80s 90s comic book magazine like Wizards that you would get news on upcoming news and interviews on upcoming titles. So this is a very interesting new form of comic media that is coming out.
I've seen it's been coming out of quite a few of the comic book companies.
Right.
Marvel
they've been
has
popping
one right now, which, looking at the book, you're like, I would never buy that, but you should, because it's where they introduce new characters, new talent, things like that.
And new talent nowadays is very important.
Yes.
Especially with how accessible they are with the internet and social media.
And DC kind of does it in their previews catalogs, so
yeah, they've
be
been
a
kind of
member
doing
and pick up the previews.
You know what else comes out on a Wednesday?
The 9.9 no-brainer!
Yeah. Me? So today's 9.9 no-brainer is X-23 #1, and it makes sense because, I mean, they found Wolverine. Wolverine is Wolverine again, finally. So
I don't know, I think X-23 did better than Wolverine.
Well, I mean, opinions aside, X-23 is getting her own series. Written by Mariko Tamaki, art by Juan Cabal, and cover art by Mike Choi. Clone from a warrior, raised as a killer, Laura Kinney has gone through hell and come out on the other side a hero. After a stint as the all-new Wolverine, she returns to her roots as X-23 to make sure no one ever has to go through the horrors she did. With her sister, Gabby, and their pet, Jonathan, in tow, X-23 forges her own destiny in this new series by Mariko Tamaki and Juan Cabal. So, I mean, it's already in back order, out of stock, so very good chance it's going to go into second print. I'm sure it will.
The reason I was saying I liked X-23 more than Wolverine, 1 was a joke. 2, I do like X-23 because it's basically been the only successfully X-Men comic for a while outside of Old Man Logan. Those were the two X-Men comics that people actually bought. It was X-23, Old Man Logan.
So, when Wednesday rolls around and let's say you only have enough money to buy one comic, this is the one you buy, X-23 #1.
Or take a chance on Amazing Spider-Man with Ryan Otley.
Right, yeah.
Both are good choices.
Correct.
For your one
Like
purchase.
I said, that kind of got edged out.
It got edged out because this one's already in back order,
right.
which is huge.
Yeah, that speaks numbers. But with that said, that is a wrap for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sticking around. And remember to comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell your friends. And
remember to have a good night.
Yeah, always, I guess so. I always, I'm just going to get that tattooed on my chest. Have a good night.
And you could just be like...
Yeah, thanks, guys.